Anyway, I had a question about savings bonds. I had heard about this idea that I thought was a pretty good one. I was going to get an immediate annuity, one of those where you pay a lump sum and then they pay you each year a certain amount of money as long as you live. And the only thing I didn't like about that was if I suddenly drop dead, it's like we're out of all that money, basically. Somebody told me if you buy Series EE savings bond, that in 20 years the government automatically guarantees they double in value. So I wanted to see what you thought of the idea of buying maybe $10,000 worth of those every year for, say, 10 or 20 years, and then wait until they hit that 20 years, double my money, and cash out. Your thoughts?
Let's see. Series, and you said EE? You said EE bonds? Oh, we lost them there. Okay, well, I believe that's what I'm showing here. Series EE bonds are interest-bearing U.S. government savings bonds guaranteed to at least double in value over their typical 20-year initial terms. That's a long ways out for doubling from that standpoint. Let's see here. Let me look at something. Where's my app? There we go. What was that, about 3.6%?
I don't know about the 0.6, but yeah, that sounds about right. Because if it was going to happen in 10 years, it would be about 7%.
Yeah, one thing about the immediate annuities, and basically that you give them a lump sum of money, and if you do life income, they pay out the rest of your life there in that situation. And if you die, the income stops because it's a life income. If you did it life income, say with a period certain of 10 years, they're at least going to pay out for 10 years. You see, when my dad was killed a long time ago, part of that settlement was an immediate annuity, which gave Mom a guaranteed lifetime income. And it had a 10-year period certain that if she had died during the first 10 years, it would at least completed the payout. But she lived a lot longer than that. And the payments did cease when she died last year. Now, what he's talking about is maybe a form of laddering also. Now, I would think of one thing I dislike about immediate annuities right now is yield is so darn low, and that's what it's being factored with. I also would think about if we're using, and I prefer period certain because it's 100% payout, and I don't mean a life with a period certain. I mean period certain, saying I write you a check, you're going to pay me this plus yield out. Say it's a 10-year period certain, so the period certain means 100% pays out during that period, whether I live or die. And if you're wanting to use annuities, you could do a laddering structure with that, and say use a period certain for 5 years, and then the second 5 years another annuity kicks on, then another annuity kicks on after that, and you could use bonds in that. If you think about it from a standpoint, the longer the money on the back end has longer to work, and the bonds here, yeah, they're guaranteed to double in 20 years. But you have some other tools that might get you a little bit better yield in between. Heck, a bond strategy mixed in with laddering. Use an immediate annuity, but a period certain to start with, and then giving some of those other blocks of money time to work and yield and build up, and you create that laddering of income and sustainable income without worrying about, poof, the money's gone when you die. We don't ever talk about that very much as well. So there's some cool ideas there for layering and creating lifetime income that doesn't go away when you die.
Sounds like what my grandmother used to do with CDs, but the interest rate on those is so low these days.
Well, back in what, 1972, Savings accounts were getting 5 1/4. You could do some laddering back then.